These things are awesome. Almost Halloween. Yay, Halloween. Nice out here. I'm grimacing because I twitched my back. I tweaked my back. Just sorting through the wood here in these woods. Getting ready for winter. Check these out. Late blooms, but these are awesome. There's like no other flowers, but these ones just popped up out of nowhere. It's great. No squash. We're still learning. This is our squash. And well, gotta represent the team, I guess. I don't really care for football, but I'm a default Jets fan, I'm told. And if I have to do that, I have to go with my bro and his Cowboys. So gotta be fair. Can really care less about football, but yeah, this is our little flower. Well, it was popping, and now everything is dying. And we got these awesome trees. And for a little while, I was just watching leaves fall. It was like a little meditation by itself. I never really paid attention to falling leaves. It's amazing what you can pay attention to nowadays. What you can, what I do, that I never cared about before. Kind of weird. So I was just looking at this tree, and the leaves were just falling as they are. And it's just so awesome. And it's cycle of life. You grow, you're born, you grow, get big, there's some bright colors in your life, and then you fall and die. And that's just the way it is. Pretty interesting. Interesting little perspective. So I was thinking, yeah, it's been a little while. I think my videos are getting a little bit more spread out. But that's still okay. Yeah. Do a video when it feels like I should. And I was thinking about a couple tools that I use to help gain more insight to me and to everything around me. Because when I'm flustered in my head, then it's all about me. Then the world, the whole universe is revolving around me. And that doesn't work. At least not for me. So I have to get back down to earth and apply some tools that I've learned in my life. And I was thinking about prayer and meditation. Now, I'm not a Sorry. Just tripped over a rock. Actually, I think I was tripping over that the whole time with a wheelbarrow. So I'm not a religious type of person. Grew up Catholic. My grandmother and supporting cast of family members that are into that, and I guess we all do things and change in ways that could be helpful or hurtful. But I remember so this is some of the wood that I had laying around. I chopped it up. Now I'm gonna cut it out here and then take it to where I have the wood. All this wood. This is just one section that I'm like trying to clear out. This is wood that was already down. I'm not taking down trees. That's awesome. Just a simple little thing. If you just look up, I see so much. But remember, I probably said this on another video about how I went to my aunt and uncle's out in California for a summer, and a rotten little kid, very self-centered. I came back and actually back up. While out there, I got my my first Holy Communion. It was like a really big deal, and I didn't care. I really just didn't care. Just kind of went through the motions because that's what I was supposed to do, but I really didn't care. And went through this whole thing. You see, you know what it seemed like to me, and maybe it's just perception. You know, it's like okay, yeah, I go out there and doing this whole thing, and now I'm cured. Now I'm cured. That didn't happen. You know. Yeah, I came home, and it was the first thing I did within 30 minutes of being home. I went to this place, this pharmacy store in Bloomingdale, where I used to live. This pharmacy store called the Wards. It's not there anymore. It's something else. I think it's still a pharmacy store, just not Wards. And I went there and I tried, and I got caught stealing. I think it was like a whoopee cushion and like the chocolate. It looked like a treasure chest of coins, but like the coins were wrapped up chocolate. I got caught. Like within a half hour, I got caught. And then my grandmother's like the biggest disappointment, like how can you do this? You know, like I don't know. I just don't know. I didn't have any answers. You know, I think that was I think I said that the most when I was young. I don't know. I don't know. I said that the most, and I can verify right now. Why? I don't know. I was a rotten freaking kid. I don't know what to tell you. But I just, the Catholicism it never took. It just never, it never took. I just didn't care. I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to care. Some people are at a younger age, and I think as long as you find your way and it's positive, who cares? That's what I believe. You find your way and it's positive, who cares? I really take I take the upbringing with my grandmother, just like she was just trying to get me on a path, and that's cool. That's all you can really hope for is that they get on a path, on a positive path. So, after years of drug abuse and getting in trouble and stuff, I find a way. And it, those 12 steps in a recovery program really opened my mind. Really opened my mind. I mean, that's what they're designed to do, is to open your mind. Let's try thinking and acting in a different way. That's what the whole point is. And yeah, first time I meditated, I was in a park nearby and just sat there. And a good friend from a retreat, still friends with him to this day, Jonathan, I forget your last name, I'm sorry. I think you let me borrow a CD that had it was like a lecture from a spiritual lecture from some guy, I forget his name. And one of the deepest things that I've heard is, and I felt it while sitting in nature, was, he said, go away, go away, go away. He said, when I sit in nature, I become part of nature's story. And I forget all about my story. My self-centeredness story. And that hit home. That hit home right there. That's awesome. So I started to meditate more and more. I got a lot more buggies out because it's a little bit nicer out. Started meditating more and more. And what does meditation do for me? So many things that it does or it doesn't do. Because it depends on you. Once I started learning about it, I was learning pretty much basics. And a basic meditation is focusing on your breath. You just sit, get comfortable, and either with your eyes open or not, it doesn't matter. As I was told, one of the ways, at least one way. It's just you try to be present for your breath. You try to just in breath, know that you're breathing in. And when you exhale, know up here, KNOW, know that you're breathing out. And that helps you be in the present moment. That's what it's all about. That's what a lot of meditation is all about, is being here now. And you can do that. I mean, there's loads of guided meditations on YouTube. I mean, there's loads. There's tons. It's amazing how much meditation out there, and it's amazing how popular it's getting, finally. I mean, where I live, I mean, there's loads of places where you can meditate formally, or just go hiking in the woods and meditate. And it's just really about slowing this down. I think everybody on earth has a crazy, I don't know if I wouldn't put it solely on the brain, maybe a crazy ego. The thing that's talking, and we're just kind of listening. We don't really, if you listen to, if you go deep in the Eckhart Tolle book, Power of Now, he calls it, your other self. There's like two of you. One that's like talking all the time, and then you listening to that. And if it's like really negative, I think it's like a pain body. But meditation really helps slow that down. And it's not going to be, especially if you don't do it all the time. I don't even do this all the time, but I'm getting more and more into it. I'm kind of like a half-ass meditator. I mean, I'm a lay Buddhist, but like I'm a really half-ass Buddhist. I took the precepts and apply it to my life, which I was already doing anyway. With when you apply the steps in your life, it's the same thing, pretty much. With meditation, every time that I meditate, even if it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'm not gonna get blissful 5-10 minutes where like not totally thinking. I was told, don't think about not thinking, because you're thinking about not thinking. Just your thoughts are like a train. A thought comes up. It wants to take you on a ride for a train, and you just let the train go. You just let it go. Don't hop on the train. And if you do hop on a train on a thought, you just get off that train and come back to the present moment. Come back and start focusing on your breath, or even just counting to 10. Just count to 10. And then when you do that, do it again. When you do that, do it again. And your mind will wander. It will. But everybody's does. Everybody. I think there's maybe a handful of people that can shut down the mind. Because I don't know, it seems like, no, I'm not sure if anyone's pinpointed it, but a lot of our problems are up in here. A lot of our problem is up in here. What goes on up in here, that's the problem. Majority of the time. And every time that I meditate, that I have meditation in my life, I can think clearer. I can react in a better way, slower. And I can make better judgments and better decisions. Like, just yesterday at work, at this place, there's a certain procedure that you have to do in order to deliver this food that I was delivering. A certain procedure, and I didn't really follow it quite because they added something new, or I haven't been there in a little while. So I tend to forget. And this person had an attitude with me. And my usual reaction is, not good. It's not spiritual. Gave me like an attitude, whether he meant it or not. It doesn't matter. It's how I'm taking it. And I've been having meditation in my life. Well, at least for the past week, it was in my life. So like, there's not much that can threaten me. There's not much that I let my ego get involved with. When meditation is in my life, I'm like, okay. He said something, and I forget what he said, but it was in a certain way. And maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't even know it was in a certain way. But up in here, I was like, yo. I wasn't like. My ego was like, yo, who are you talking to? You talking to me? You talking to me like that? That's what my ego was saying. But with meditation in my life, it'll still say something, but something happens with like the other me, I guess. The other me is like, whoa, back off. And then I, not ego, can talk to this person and be like, oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. No problem. And he's like, oh, okay. And he just went away, and that was it. Like, if you let your ego talk for you, that's when problems happen. At least from my experience. I guess maybe there's a time and place for letting ego talk and act for you. And it doesn't seem like there's many good reasons to let ego have its way. At least not yet, because I can just think way clearer, and I can act in a kind way. So I'm like, yo, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to like that? Then I start swearing and getting loud, and then I'll get in the dude's face. I'm like, dude, you ain't much, bro. I don't care. And that's old thinking and actions, which is hard to change. That's hard to change. Go away. But you're human, and you have some oxygen and CO2 coming out of your little holes. I want some of that. No, go away. Go away. There's another example. It was like, I have a bunch of examples. And me being present, I can see meditation working in my life. And when I don't have meditation in my life, I can see that I don't have meditation in my life. I was delivering food New Year's Eve. I think it was last year. New Year's Eve. Hell's Kitchen, downtown. Probably the worst place you could be on earth on New Year's Eve. I was delivering to a place. that I usually deliver to. I parked on a certain area that I usually parked at, and I left the truck going because most of us do that because we're usually in and out of the trucks. So we just leave the truck going and we go to the next stop. I took a little bit too long at the stop. I went back to the truck of where it was supposed to be, and it was gone. Now, I had meditation in my life, or at least within that week, enough to react in a different way. Any other time, guaranteed, this is what's going to happen when that happens. Fear. And then I get like a physical reaction to the body. And then I start acting and thinking in a certain way, and I start acting in a certain way. Fear, which turns into anger. For me. I would have made that situation in such a horrible way. I probably would have ended up in jail that day in the city because of overreaction. And I think deep down inside, it's like I care. And that's me. That's my ego's way of caring. Is making a big stink out of something that I helped create, but at the same time, I can't do anything about. I would have freaked out. My job's vehicle is gone with food inside still. When I went out there, I'm like, okay, this is where I parked the truck, I'm pretty sure, and it's not here. Okay. Just even saying that in my head, in myself, okay. I was able to think. I was able to act in a sane way. Sane. I'm like, okay. Well, what can I do? This kind of sucks. But I was chill, man. I didn't let the ego take over. I didn't let it. I felt the fear, but I was like, okay. Because of meditation. I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? Well, I have my phone in my pocket, which I don't usually have. It would usually be in the truck, my phone. For some reason, I have my phone in my pocket just in case I had to make a call. Not realizing that I was going to have to make a call. But a different kind of call. A stolen vehicle call. Okay. Well, maybe the cops moved it, because I hear that they move vehicles if they're in a wrong spot, or they maybe impounded it or whatever. So I started making calls. And I was able to think, and I didn't bug out. That's meditation in my life right there. I'm able to be happy. I'm able to think. I'm able to react in a positive way. I don't have to react and then worry about the consequences later. I don't have to do that. Not with meditation in my life. And there's other examples that I can use, but like, for me, that's where I'm at today. Is when I have meditation in my life. That's what goes on. And I am witness to it. I see the results. Just calming the mind down to the best of your ability. And when it wanders and jumps on a thought, you can, I was told it's like if you're going back to 10 minutes ago, that's not too bad. If you're going about 10 years ago, keep working on it. When meditation was like a lot in my life, when I was doing it a lot, at least for the retreat. I did a silent retreat. We were meditating a lot within a weekend. And I was going to places and I don't even know. I was like, I don't recall that as a memory. It felt like a movie. So I don't know. It's pretty interesting what goes on up in there. But try that out. You just focus on your breath. And there's loads of other meditations out there. They even said like doing like some work. I'm working on this wood right now for a couple hours now, and it's a meditation. You can use anything as meditation. You can walk. You just feel every step as you're walking. Be present for every little thing that you see. Like, you can even just sit here, you focus on that tree, and you look up to it, and you really look at all the bark and all the mold. You look at all the details. That's what I was doing, and I didn't even realize it was a meditation in my early sobriety. I would just focus in heavy on every tree, even on a leaf, even on dirt, even on just like some random crap that we wouldn't usually focus in on, and focus in on it. It's a meditation. I'm going to be chopping up this wood, and it's a meditation. I can feel the wind. I can hear the wind. That's a meditation. I can walk. Anything. Eat. You can even eat and have a meditation. You focus in on, like, when you eat, you don't just inhale your food without even barely tasting it. You taste it, but you feel all the work. Like, how did this food happen? It's like, yeah, I put it in the oven, or I mixed it up, but how did this really happen? Who went out and made this from scratch? That's meditation. And you really like have gratitude for eating. Every bite is from somebody else, most likely, unless you grow and you catch your own food, you chop it up and do all the work organically through you. Okay. But even that is a meditation. Everything can be used as a meditation as long as you're in the present. As long as you're fully in the present. But if you're just going through emotions, doing things mindlessly, and then you come back, you're like, oh wow. There's some times where I'll be driving and I'll think of something, I'll be thinking about something, and I'll be like, wow, how long was I thinking about that? And who the hell was driving when I was thinking? That was like a sober blackout right there. That's a sober freaking blackout. And I'm like, wow, how long was I thinking on that thought? And who the freak was driving? Wow. So prayer. I'm not a religious guy. I like certain things. I'm interested in Spiritism and Wicca and Buddhism nowadays. I don't really get into Catholicism all that much. I'll follow. I listen to George Carlin, and I kind of laugh about that when he says when he has a skit about religion. Check that out if you haven't checked that out. It's pretty funny. And if you take it to heart, sorry. I'm not attached to anything. If you're attached, you can probably make another video about that, attachment, because attachment's no good. But prayer for me, at least where I am nowadays, prayer. Especially when I have it early in the morning. Prayer and meditation early in the morning when I'm just waking up and about to go to work and preparing. It gets... Yeah, these freaking buggies, bro. It gets my mind on a positive wave, on a positive level. Go away. It gets me thinking on a positive way. And like, I'll say a prayer like, sometimes God, sometimes higher power. I like higher power more, actually, because God has really been misused throughout many years. I like higher power. Like, thank you, higher power, for letting me wake up and giving me another chance to be a better person. That's all I really want. It's another chance to be a better person. And how can I serve? How can I do the right thing? And that just gets my mind going instead of into self. How can I be selfless and serve and be of service? That's what prayer does for me. All these other stories and ideologies about it, okay, if that works for you, but that's what prayer does for me. It affirms certain things. Sometimes I see some blessings, but I like it mainly because it gets outside of me. Anything... Well, that's what drugs and alcohol did, was it got outside of me. But this and meditation, it gets outside of me, but in a positive way, in a serving way. And when I serve, I'm being useful to somebody else. And that goes against the grain. That goes against my grain. Because that's just not normal for me to think that way. Or maybe it is, and I'm just relearning. Who knows? Who knows? I believe in reincarnation. Who knows? But it's all about positive thinking. And those two things really help me get my mind in a positive way, because this is going to defeat me more than anything else. This will defeat me. Nobody else can. Nobody else can. This is the only thing that can defeat me. And when you think like that, you're like, okay. And you need to learn some tools to combat that. So these couple things work for me. I hope it works for you. Be well. Love your life. Stay positive. And too blessed to be stressed. Be well.